Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great start to their week. It was a little slow on our side. Um, there wasn't a whole lot of earnings being posted, not a lot of activity for us this morning, so they really didn't have a watch list. So, kind of sat on my hands. But I got bombarded again, with messages and people asking me, why aren't you going to trade TVIX? Why? And it's like, once something shows huge potential, it's like everybody migrates to it. It's only human nature. It's just like in this industry, where somebody comes in and they post phenomenal gains and they say they've got this hot strategy, and all it is the same strategy, the same old strategy repackaged, and but it's fresh, it's new, and it's like we've been struggling to try to get, put two nickels together, and then this pops up, and it's exciting, and we're just gonna run to it. That's just human nature, and that's what we have to fight all the time in this trading, because it can actually, be detrimental to our trading career. So what I've been saying all day is, look, slow your roll. Take a step back. Look at what's happened over the last couple of days. And that should let you know that, hey, we're not going to get that kind of move again. And if we do, then yeah, we need to be prepared. But it's going to have to break some significant levels for it to, give us some solid trades. Now, yeah, we're going to look at it today and kind of see, where the opportunities might have been, but it's not real big. Friday, and we're going to recap Friday's trade. And you'll see the difference. And, Friday there was, pretty big potential. But today, it just didn't show it. It didn't show itself. And so we'll take a look at that here in a second. So, my message all day was, hey, slow your roll. Just take a time out. You don't have to trade every day the market is open. And you don't have to trade all day, every day. Professional traders do not trade all day, every day. They're not in and out of trades left and right. They position themselves and they let their trades work. And that's, what we have to do. We position ourselves, we let our trades work, we take our profit, and if we get opportunity to reset, then that's what we do. We reset. But chasing every stock that's moving all day long, you'll end the day stressed and probably broke. Whereas at 10 o'clock this morning, you might have had $300-400 to the good, and by the time you end the day, you may be $20 to the good, or you may be red, and it's really, really frustrating and disheartening when that happens. So that's why I say the things I say all day. Yeah, there's stocks moving, and yeah, you can take that risk, but is it really worth it? Are you able to incur that risk? Because we're growing our account. We're not trying to grow and give back. We're just trying to grow our account. Yeah, we're going to have some losers, but make sure those losers are in the context of our trading and our strategy, and that we're not trying to, make something happen overnight. And that's what was happening with, with this market, the volatility, and everybody, they got panicked and then they got excited, and now they want to benefit from it. And right now it's on pause. So let's take a look at what happened Friday here. Tomorrow, I'm doing a 2 for Tuesday from midnight tonight to 11:59 tomorrow night. You get 2 for deals. If you subscribe for a month, you get 2 months. If you subscribe for a quarter, you get 2 quarters. If you subscribe for a year, you get 2 years. It's for the mentoring packages as well. If you do the enhanced mentoring package that comes with the 10 hours, then you get 20 hours plus double the subscription time that comes with it. So everything is doubled up, but it's for Tuesday only for tomorrow. No special links. All you have to do is subscribe, and I take care of the rest. So just as simple as that. But if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. All right, on Friday, we traded the TVIX again. Now, again, everybody is telling me, every time somebody asks me a question about this, it's like this is actually based on the SPY, and it's not. It's actually based on the VIX short-term futures, the S&P short-term futures. But it moves opposite of the SPY. The SPY is a S&P 500 ETF, so it's going to kind of mirror the S&P 500. Their futures based on that. This TVIX it's an exchange. It's an ETN, an exchange traded note. ETF has marketable securities within it. ETN is like a virtual type note. There's no stocks in the fund. There's nothing. It's just purely based off of those short-term futures. But we will, like I said, I'm going to do a whole class on this Wednesday in our education seminar that we do on Wednesdays. So you guys, the next time this market takes off, you'll understand what's happening, and then you can decide, what you want to do and where you want to go with this. So we had a huge move, and when we look at the SPY here in a minute, you'll see where we had that huge sell-off on the SPY, and that's where this big run-up. Now, this wasn't smooth. It wasn't smooth as the other day. You can see how, we did have some volatility in this, but we just had to be patient and let it hit our targets. It didn't make my final target, so, at this point, it was just how high can you go is basically what it was doing. And, once it came back to the next to my last level where I sold some, that was it. That was my trailing stop. And really, and I know, and I probably shouldn't have these technical levels on here, these moving averages and all that, because I don't use those when I'm trading this. I use the technicals from the SPY. So if I'm trailing the SPY, if the SPY breaks the 9 and it's going up, then the move is dead. I got to take it off. So it's not this breaking the 9. It's going to be the SPY. It's going to look the same. It's going to look like we broke a level and then it confirmed the break and I took it off. But I wasn't watching this. I was watching the SPY. And that's why I guess you guys got confused, because I'm watching it and trading this. But, this doesn't really trade off the SPY. They both kind of follow the same, you follow the same data. So that's what I was doing on here. So we ended up with a pretty decent trade on Friday. Caught that first move. Really could have caught, another move on this, but I was happy with this. 1691, almost $1,700, and then yesterday, well, not yesterday, the day before, we had a strong hit on it too, even though I missed a lot of the move. But for me, going through what I went through last week and having to deal with the storm and everything that went with it, I think things worked out pretty good. So let's take a look at this real quick. All right, so you can see this is the SPY over the last several days. Here's the big sell-off day, right here on Wednesday. Okay, missed this day. Now look at the price action the last 3 days relative to this day. This was the day that you make money on. Here, people just don't know what the hell they want to do is what's going on. We can trade that volatility. These are nice moves that we can profit on. And we did. Same thing here on Friday. But when we got this big move, and what I did was look at it, take a step back, and look at what it's doing over a longer time frame, over several days. I could see we pretty much made a higher low here. And I'm thinking, we may be recovering. But I'm not sure. We have to wait. And you could see, Sunday, we kind of held and tried to push up overnight. This was late Sunday night. And then we started selling off into the early morning hours of today. And then, look at what it was doing. Okay, let's go back to, I need to point something out here. On this TVIX, okay, the way I like to trade these, I don't like to jump on these out of the gate. You won't see me do that. I let it make a move and then really show me a trend. I need to see a trend because this has to, this is going to be a trend following trade. It's not really a technical. I want to see a trend. And I saw on the SPY was trending down. Here we were making higher lows, higher highs. We pulled back, and I thought we were bouncing here, making a higher low. But this candle sold off, but it, quickly recovered, and it kind of hung around here for a little bit. But, I was confident looking at the trend here that this was going to go up. So when I looked at this on, when we look at it today, I didn't see that trend. Okay, here's where we sold off. We bounced. We sold off again. And I thought about jumping in here, but I wasn't convinced yet. I was waiting on the next bounce. This one sold off pretty good. So I'm like, hey, man, if this thing bounces and it rejects, I'm going in. And guess what? I was so close. So close. And I think I might have mentioned this, and I can't remember. I was so close to jumping in here till it wasn't even funny. But something stopped me. Something stopped me from getting in. And, that's why I just told you guys I just don't, I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And sure enough, it was a big bad bear trap. I know it doesn't make sense because we're going long here. But what it did is it baited people short on this. Here, we made a lower low. Here we made a lower high. Started to sell. Even triggered it broke the low of this candle here. That was so slightly, but it brought a lot of people into this, and then this thing just got bought up. And so I can't trade that. Now here was another nice move, but there's no trend here. This just doesn't make sense because it made a higher high. I'm not getting in this. Now scalpers delight here. You make a new high here, you start to sell. Let's jump in. So they would get long, looking for this to pull back, potentially to this level here, but it just kept going. So, a potentially small move turned into a pretty decent move, but there was no guarantee that this was going to happen. I was thinking we were going to bounce here and then just keep up. But here again, we made a lower low. I think it got some people happy, and it kind of ate them up again. Ate them up again. And then we had this huge sell-off at the close. I didn't see this happening. Here again, we made a higher high. So on a pullback, I wouldn't expect it to sell off like this. But it sold off hard going into the close. And then now, look, we're recovering. So this is untradeable. The market, trying to trade the actual market, which is what we're doing with TVIX, it doesn't make sense right now. It doesn't make sense. So I won't, unless this thing takes off again, I am not looking at anything like that. I'm only looking for my regular trades that I normally look for. We should have a pretty busy morning, trying to put a watch list together. All right, so the last thing I want to share with you, on Wednesday, I'll be streaming live again on YouTube. We did this a little over a year ago. I'm going to do it a couple more times so I can get some newer, videos in the file here for our live trading. So you want to come in. It'll be from around 8:30, where I start looking at the market and build my watch list, and usually run it through to 10:30, sometimes 11. I take my lunch at 11 o'clock because I like to be ready when the market is coming out of lunch. Because sometimes when the market is volatile and we got some good, stocks that we're trading, especially on earnings, a lot of times they're making moves coming out of lunch. So I like to be here to catch that, coming out of lunch. So check us out Monday if you're not a member and you haven't seen any of the videos. The video from last week is on YouTube. You can check that out. But as always, you can come in and take a sneak peek of what we're doing, and we can go from there. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today. We'll be back at it first thing in the morning, and we'll see if we can get this ship going in the right direction here.